Your real estate agent could quietly be costing you $20,000 or more, especially in today's housing market. Most people assume an agent is a non-negotiable part of buying or selling a home, but that's a costly misconception. Imagine holding on to an extra $20,000. What could that do for your down payment, closing costs, or even your emergency fund? This isn't about cutting corners. It's about making smart, informed decisions that put more money in your pocket. We're going to break down exactly what real estate agents do, the specific situations where their value diminishes, and most importantly, when you absolutely don't need one. Stick around, because the part most people get wrong about agent loyalty could cost you thousands more than you realize. So, what exactly does a real estate agent do? At their core, agents are intermediaries. For sellers, they list the property, market it, schedule showings, and negotiate offers. For buyers, they help find properties, arrange viewings, and guide them through the offer process. They're licensed professionals with access to the Multiple Listing Service, or MLS, which is the primary database of properties for sale. They handle paperwork, coordinate inspections, and generally act as a project manager for your transaction. This can be incredibly valuable, particularly for complex sales or if you're new to the process. However, understanding their core functions is the first step to knowing when you might be able to handle these tasks yourself, saving that significant commission. Let's talk money, commissions. This is where the $20,000 figure comes into play. Traditionally, agents charged a commission, usually between 5% and 6% of the home's sale price, which was typically paid by the seller and then split between the seller's agent and the buyer's agent. However, as of July 2024, new rules from the National Association of Realtors, NAR, no longer mandate sellers pay the buyer's agent commission. Buyer agents will need to secure compensation directly from buyers through written agreements. While the total commission rate is expected to decrease, the exact impact on the 5 to 6% range and how commissions are split is still evolving. For example, on a $400,000 home, the previous 6% commission would have been $24,000. That's a huge chunk of change. If you're the seller, that comes directly out of your equity. If you're the buyer, while you don't directly pay it, that cost is baked into the home's price. The crucial insight is that this percentage is relatively fixed, regardless of how much actual work the agent does. A quick sale in a hot market costs the same in commission as a lengthy, complex one, and that's where the opportunity to save truly emerges. Here's the bombshell. You often don't need a real estate agent if you're selling in a strong seller's market. When demand far outstrips supply, homes practically sell themselves. Buyers are plentiful, competition is fierce, and properties often receive multiple offers above asking price within days. In this scenario, an agent's marketing efforts are less critical. You can list your home as for sale by owner or FSBO on platforms like Zillow and Redfin, which now offer direct listing options or connect with flat-fee MLS services. Imagine selling your $400,000 home and keeping a significant portion of the commission for yourself, especially with the evolving commission structures where buyer agents may be paid directly by buyers. That's not just a possibility. It's a concrete financial strategy when the market conditions align. But there's a specific legal document you absolutely must understand to pull this off successfully. If you're selling for sale by owner, here are your concrete steps. First, research comparable sales in your area to price your home accurately. Overpricing is the biggest FSBO mistake. Second, prepare your home for showings. Declutter, clean, and consider minor repairs. Professional photos are a must, even if you take them yourself. Smartphone cameras are powerful. Third, list your home. Use Zillow's FSBO option or a flat-fee MLS service, which gets your property on the same system agents use for a few $100s. Fourth, manage inquiries and schedule showings yourself. Finally, and crucially, when offers come in, you'll need to understand how to read and respond to a purchase agreement. This is where many DIY sellers hesitate, but it's simpler than you think, especially with online templates and legal advice. However, what about buying without an agent? For buyers, the question of skipping an agent is a bit different. While the seller typically pays the commission, that cost is built into the asking price. If you buy directly from a FSBO seller, you might negotiate a lower price because the seller isn't paying a buyer's agent commission. For example, if a $400,000 home has a $12,000 buyer's agent commission baked in, you could offer $390,000, and the seller might still come out ahead. Your steps include getting pre-approved for a mortgage, identifying properties online using Zillow, Redfin, or even directly contacting FSBO sellers. You'll schedule your own showings and conduct your own research. The biggest challenge here is access to the MLS, but with many listings now public, it's less of a barrier than it once was. But what if you still want some professional help without the full commission? Enter the world of limited service agents or real estate attorneys. You don't have to go all in or all out. Many brokerages now offer a la carte services. For a flat fee, they might list your home on the MLS, handle specific paperwork, or provide negotiation advice without the full sales cycle. This can be a fantastic middle ground, giving you professional support where you need it most, while still saving significantly on commissions. For instance, you might pay a few $100s for an MLS listing and then handle showings and negotiations yourself. Similarly, a real estate attorney can draft and review contracts for a flat fee, providing crucial legal protection for both buyers and sellers navigating transactions without a full-service agent. But what about the common myth that only agents can protect you? One pervasive myth is that only a real estate agent can protect your interests in a transaction. While good agents certainly do this, they are not the sole guardians of your financial well-being. Home inspectors, appraisers, and real estate attorneys all play critical roles in protecting you. An inspector identifies physical defects, an appraiser ensures the price is fair, and an attorney reviews contracts for legal soundness. In fact, an attorney's loyalty is solely to you, while an agent's loyalty can sometimes be split, particularly in dual agency situations where one agent represents both buyer and seller. This is a critical distinction that many people overlook, leading them to believe they're fully protected when they might not be. Here's a common mistake story that illustrates this danger. Here's what happens when you fall into the dual agency trap. Imagine you're buying a home, and the seller's agent offers to represent you too, becoming a dual agent. On the surface, it seems convenient. However, a dual agent cannot fully represent the best interests of both parties because those interests are often in conflict. As a buyer, you want the lowest price. As a seller, you want the highest. A dual agent is legally bound to neutrality, meaning they can't advise either party on negotiation strategy. I once saw a buyer overpay by $10,000 because their dual agent couldn't point out the home had been on the market for months and the seller was desperate. This lack of specific guidance cost the buyer a significant sum, simply because they assumed the agent was working for them. Always be wary of dual agency and consider independent representation or legal counsel. If you go agent-free, understanding the essential paperwork is paramount. For sellers, you'll need a purchase agreement, which outlines the terms of the sale, including price, contingencies, and closing date. You'll also need a property disclosure statement, detailing any known defects, and a deed to transfer ownership. For buyers, you'll be reviewing the purchase agreement, inspection reports, appraisal, and title insurance documents. Many states offer standard, fill-in-the-blank forms through their real estate commissions or bar associations, which are perfectly legal and often used by agents themselves. Online platforms like LegalZoom also offer templates, but a quick consultation with a real estate attorney for review is a wise, inexpensive investment compared to a full commission. This leads to the role of escrow and title companies. Even without an agent, you'll still rely on professionals like an escrow company and a title company to facilitate the closing. The escrow company is a neutral third party that holds all funds and documents related to the transaction until all conditions are met. They ensure all parties fulfill their obligations. The title company performs a title search to ensure there are no liens or claims against the property and issues title insurance, protecting both buyer and lender. These services are non-negotiable and are paid for as part of your closing costs, regardless of whether you use an agent. They handle the complex financial and legal transfers, ensuring a smooth and secure transaction. So, while you cut out agent fees, these essential services remain, providing a safety net for your investment. But when should you use an agent? Now, let's be clear. Real estate agents are absolutely invaluable in certain situations. If you're in a slow or buyer's market, a seller's agent's marketing prowess and negotiation skills can be the difference between a quick sale and a lingering listing. If you're a buyer looking for a highly specific property in a competitive area, a buyer's agent with deep local knowledge can unearth off-market gems and give you an edge. First-time homebuyers, those relocating, or anyone with limited time and a complex transaction will often find the agent's full-service approach well worth the commission. Their network of contacts, from inspectors to lenders, can streamline the entire process. The key is understanding when their value truly outweighs the cost, rather than assuming it always does. The ability to discern this is your greatest financial tool. The bottom line is that while real estate agents offer valuable services, knowing when you can bypass them can save you tens of thousands of dollars, especially in seller-friendly markets or with straightforward transactions. Armed with this knowledge, you can approach your next real estate move with confidence. If you're wondering how to properly assess a home's value before making an offer, even without an agent, watch my video on appraisals and market value. What you need to know. And if you found this video helpful, please subscribe for more strategies to navigate the U.S. real estate market.